Next question from Anders, who is from Tromsø here. He said, how do you stick to your diet when you start feeling unmotivated and just want to quit? Now, first of all, actually, at the time of this recording, I put a post up yesterday called Motivation is Bullshit, or Why Motivation is Bullshit. I like motivation in a way that it can help you get a little bit of an extra boost, right? Like, it's good to have motivation, let's be honest. Reality is, motivation is not going to lead to results. The thing is, too, we think we need motivation to get started, but that's not the case. Like, you got to get started, you got to create momentum, and then motivation will show up. When you need it the most, when you are, when you really want to lose weight, for example, or you really want to change something, when things are not going to go, or when things are not going as planned, when things are more difficult, that's when motivation is not there. That's when you wish you had motivation. So to snap out of that, you just got to start, do something. And that sounds like it's much easier said than done, but whatever the goal is, get going, start creating momentum, So how do you stick to your diet? Well, first of all, let's just one step at a time, focus on creating something that you can stick to, right? And it doesn't have to be like a diet where it's very strict, hey, let's maybe focus on veggies and fruits and dial in those basics. Are we hitting protein with every meal? Maybe tracking could be a great tool. And I think we actually have a question coming up later about tracking too. But the reality is, we are going to feel unmotivated, and we are going to feel like we just want to quit. I'm biased, but I think getting a coach is one of the best things you can do. And it's just because you are invested in yourself. And if you have some skin in the game, of course you're going to pay attention, hopefully at least. We are also here to hold you accountable, and other coaches as well. It's not just to sell shit here, But reality is there are going to be moments where we just don't feel like it. So it's all about preparing for those moments. It's all about creating the habits that we need to stay consistent. And then when motivation is there, great. It's a little bonus, but we just can't rely on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'll add to that. So personally, I am going through this with training, working out, which it's such a weird thing because I was a professional athlete at one point. It was my whole life, right? But what I do, and I think can be really helpful to a lot of people, is we talked a lot about this in the course we did was intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation.
Yeah, really good.
And one part of that I really like is basically, so eating healthy. What are your values, right? You want to have more energy, you want to maybe it's lose weight, to be more active with your children, different things like that, like life values. What do you value? And coupling that with what did I mention? I wrote a post on this recently. Basically, when you're not motivated, you connect that activity or diet or whatever it is to your values. Okay. So when I don't feel like working out, what do? I think I'm thinking about my values. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to choose to work out today because I want to, lower the risk of disease later on in my life. Right. So something like that. I'm always connecting that activity or that behavior to something that's really important to me. And that way it becomes intrinsic, and you're way more likely to do that thing versus it being I just want to lose weight for this wedding, or, something that's kind of superficial. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to work out today. But I'm going to because it aligns with my values, and that can help a lot.
Yeah, I think it's also very common to struggle with feeling unmotivated,
100%.
and that's exactly where the goal setting comes in, and just knowing exactly why you're doing something.
Mhm.